We've got to graph the tangent and cotangent. Oh God, oh God! But first, we need a game plan. This is the game plan for graphing tangents and cotangent. Oh boy. What are we gonna do? We're gonna flip it, we're gonna sketch it, we're gonna label it. Is that how I spell label, or is it E-L? I don't know, I made that mistake in all of these videos. So then we're gonna move it. 4-step process. Let's talk about the parts. I'm looking at a function of the form f of x is equal to a tangent bx plus c plus k. Okay, so then down here, the not amplitude, because tangent doesn't have an amplitude, this is going to be where your special points lie. My PS, my phase shift, happens last. That's minus c over b, and then I'm going to have a vertical shift of k. What are we talking about? When we flip it, sketch it, label it, move it, we are flipping, sketching, labeling, and moving these guys. My tangent has the basic form of this. Half my period is there and half my period's there. Alright, that's why when I sketch it, it comes from the bottom, now it's here. I use half my period there because half is to the left and half is to the right and half is to the left. That's half my period. That's a quarter of my period. That happens at that special point where the not amplitude lies. And then minus p over 4. And that happens where the minus amplitude lies. And the basic shape for this guy over here, the cotangent is all on the right side. Well, of course it repeats. It repeats, because it's periodic. And periodically, I graph the cotangent by hand. Man, it's all on the right of the x-axis when it's not shifted. And I graph it, I shift it, I label it P, out here the period, half the period, a quarter of the period, and 3/4 the period. Let's get to some examples. Now that we have a game plan, let's go into our first example. This guy over here. What am I graphing? I'm graphing f of x is equal to 1/3 the tangent of x, so I get my characteristics. My a, not my amplitude. That's the number in front, well, the absolute value, and it's going to be 1/3. And then my period. My period is, the usual period of tangent, which is pi divided by b. But here we see our b is 1, fun, so my period's going to be pi. So then I flip it, don't have to, sketch it, okay, label it, and then move it. So I go and I throw up the graph of the tangent. Half the tangent lies to the left and half the tangent lies to the right. At least the non-shifted tangent. So it comes from the bottom, now it's here. And now we label it. This is going to be half the period, pi over 2, pi over 4, because it's half that distance. Why is that important? That's the most bendiest part, the inflection point. I'll put my a there. That's 1/3. And then that's minus pi over 4. And that happens when this is minus 1/3. And then I heard the other one over here is minus pi over 2. And then this is going to repeat. This is going to repeat. 1, 2, 3, 4. Special. Yeah, I'm special. Pulled up to the street. I'm a Simmons miss. Another example over here. Oh boy. We're talking about minus 3 times the cotangent of 2x. What's next? We get our characteristics. Our a, our not amplitude, is minus 3. Absolutely. Which is 3. My period is going to be pi, the usual period of cotangent, divided by b. Here I b, the number in front of the variable. That's pi over 2. Oh, I have no vertical shift because nothing's added to it. I have no phase shift because there's no addition and subtraction in it. So then I go and I graph this guy. These are the two introductory examples. There'll be an annotation in a moment to get to a more harder one. So then I go and I graph the cotangent. Dot, 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 dot. Dot, 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 dot. The usual cotangent goes like this, but we had to flip it, so it comes from the bottom, now it's here. You know what? That's a bunch of crap. Why? Because my axes are clearly in the wrong freaking spot, because the cotangent's on the right-hand side of the axis. So my axis should have been here. Nice recovery. Let's go. My period, I'm labeling this guy. My period here is pi over 2. Oh, half of that is pi over 4, sure. Half of that is pi over 8. Great. Now I have 1 pi over 8, 2 pi's over 8. That's going to be 3 pi's over 8. Let's explore the significance of these guys. It's the inflection point, the most bendy point. That labeling is going to be a -3. This labeling here, that's going to be at 3. And then, I came from the bottom, now I'm here. I came from the bottom, now I'm here. I came from the bottom, now my whole crew's here.